Hello, everybody. My name is DeAndre Lee, and for my final speech, the persuasive speech, my persuasive speech is on stricter and harsher punishment and reform from the FDA and the USDA. Well, here's the problem: we aren't eating food. The food we're consuming, that the public is consuming, is not real food. 80%, according to a study by USA Today, 80% of the food that is on the U.S. market contains GMOs. And what GMOs are genetically modified organisms, meaning things are being experimented on by labs and different tests are being ran, and they're adding all kind of chemicals and byproducts to our food. And some people might be like, well, maybe that's just stuff that's, in fast food or whatever. This covers fast food, restaurant food, and yes, even food that is like delivered to different chains of grocery stores as well. In the early 1920s, there was an author by the name of Upton Sinclair who wrote a book entitled The Jungle. And what this book did was shed light on all of the injustices and the craziness that was going on inside of the food industries and inside of their factories, from child labor to just the practices of unsanitary issues and the things that they were putting in our food. Now that called for reform, but however, as we can see now from today's research, things haven't really changed for the better. So GMOs, genetically modified organisms, are really a danger to our health. Think about it like this: 10 years ago, like anybody can go to a farm. You can go to a farm or to a zoo or whatever, and you see a chicken. Now a chicken is a nice sized animal, but it's in essence not that big. So when you decide to kill the chicken to get its pieces, the pieces are in essence going to be small. Now the problem we're having nowadays in today's food industry and on the market is the individual pieces of the chicken are the size that the whole chicken itself is supposed to be, and that's a huge problem. So what's going on is that we're having a big compromise. We are compromised. The Food and Drug Administration and the USDA, they are looking for longer shelf life of their products. They're looking for better presentation and quantity. But at the same time, that means that we're getting pesticides, we're getting steroids and hormones added to our food, additives, preservatives, and artificial flavorings, and that's just simply not right. Lawmakers, on the other hand, they turn a blind eye to this matter for one reason or another, and most of the reason is because these food industries line their pockets for their campaigns, or they contribute in other ways, so they tend to turn a blind eye to it. And what this does is it creates a food industry to pharmacy pipeline. Now keep in mind that the pharmacy industry is designed for sick care and not health care. Sick care is designed to make you feel better, just to get you pepped up and ready to go. Health care is making sure you never have problems again with your health, period. So everyone is benefiting from us eating poison, basically. So the solution to all of this, one thing that's actually in talks right now, is food labeling. I feel that holding these companies responsible and accountable, and also lawmakers as well, it does wonders for the market and for us as the public, because we are not behind the closed doors of these factories to see what they're putting in our food, and they can say one thing and do another. So even a step further than food labeling, I propose that a third party neutral company that has nothing to do, an agency that has nothing to do, no ties, affiliation, can't be bought by these food companies, they should be allowed to go in daily and test random batches of the food that is being prepared and processed that day. And what that does is it holds the food industry responsible and accountable to be like, okay, we can't slip up, because they can pull from a random batch, so we can't afford to slip up and try to just paint a pretty picture for them and give them a good sample and still try to have maximum output and shelf life by putting all of these steroids and hormones in our food. And also with the food labeling and the random testing and things of that nature. Also, it should be fines, penalties, and things of that nature. I feel like corporations, certain food corporations who practice these things, or farms, if you will, they should get closed down. Make an example out of some of them, just to show that this is serious business. Because at the end of the day, these are people's lives that we're playing with. This is real. We're getting fed poison. So I feel like jail time should be a factor in there. Fines, penalties is one. And this is the crazy thing that baffles me. The drug dealer that's down the street can have maybe like 3 pounds of marijuana, and he'll get 26 years in prison. But you'll have these big food agencies and food companies that have food that cause cancer, high blood pressure and all kind of diseases, and they get tax cuts. It doesn't make sense. And and I know some people might think, oh well, it isn't really hurting me, I can grow my own farm or whatever, but not like 100% of the population has to eat. Everybody has to eat. Not everybody has access to a rural area or a big enough yard where they can grow their own food. Not everybody is, skilled enough, or, have the know-how to produce their own food. But at the same time, you shouldn't, that shouldn't be a factor. You shouldn't have to grow your own food just to not be poisoned by the companies that are, doing this stuff just to get extra money out of the deal. That's not right. So hopefully you guys like this speech, and we can do something about this. So yeah, we just need to hold them responsible, and just that's it.